How's it going, guys? We are now live. My name's Christian Buddy. Hope you guys are having a good night tonight. This is a really random podcast. What are we? We're on Wednesday. So yeah, I just thought I'd have a random podcast throughout the week. I've got my green tea. Thank you, Mimi, for the green
welcome.
tea. Thank you. And you're actually the fifth person in the studio, like in the podcast place here. So
Okay.
yeah, thank you very much for coming down.
No worries.
How you feeling?
Yeah, I was actually thinking, I'm like, it's weird because I met you once, like exactly a week ago, and then now I'm here. That's why I'm like, this is very strange that I'm like, yeah, no, I'm just, like my friends were like, where are you going? And I'm like, I'm doing a podcast. They're like, where? And I'm like, some apartment in Brunswick, I think. Like, I'm not really, they're like, do you know this guy? And I'm like, I met him last week. They're like, you're fucked. So, but I'm here, I'm alive so far, so.
You're alive at the moment, and yeah, I mean, we're just having some good vibes, good chill, and just for the people listening at home, I know Mimi through, well, I met her once at the Comedy Act, and yeah, we met at, what's the place called? The Resistance in Hawthorne?
Resistance Bar and Cafe, really good burgers, actually.
Yeah. They have really sick burgers, yeah.
Do. Yeah, comedy there every Wednesday, Guerrilla Comedy.
Shout out to Guerrilla Comedy.
It's a fun room.
It's a very fun room. What how's your experiences there? Like how do you think you've gone?
I think I've been like hit and miss at Guerrilla actually because I don't know, like since I started comedy, I think that one had just opened up, and it's either like I do really well or I do really bad. There's never been like an in between. It's either really good or really bad.
Yeah, I reckon you did. You started off really strong in your last set, and yeah, I think it was good. It was enjoyable.
Had you seen me before the last time, like that week? Had you seen me before then, or was that the first time you'd seen me?
That was the first time.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that was terrible.
That was terrible. Shit.
That was a bad set. That was a bad set.
Why was it bad though?
Because it was like my stuff wasn't landing, and then I just turfed my material. There was like no point doing it, and I kind of knew before I had to do it that there was no point doing it.
Yeah.
You know, so it was just I was like, I may as well just talk to the audience, and there was like really, if you think about it, there's only like 6 audience members there. Everyone else was a comic.
Yeah, fair enough.
So.
Know.
But you said you did your first set. So
did my first set, yeah, at Sellers in St Kilda. So yeah, I think like we were speaking before, and we discussed a little bit about it, and I should be concentrating on my material, like just focusing on my own stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that was at Sellers, not at Dirty Secrets.
Not at Dirty Secrets, no.
Oh, so you did your first one at St Kilda.
At St Kilda, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
First one. A lot of energy, and not listening to the audience. Maybe I gotta listen to the audience a bit more, and see how it goes.
So how many have you done now?
That's my second. So the first one is I did a comedy course at School of Hard Knock Knocks.
Mm-hmm.
So I had one performance there, and that was good because they kind of train you. You have a 5-day course, and then at the end, the 5th day, you go in front of stage.
And it's all people's family and friends at those shows, right?
Yeah, it's all people's families and friends.
Yeah, so that's going to be a really warm audience already.
Yeah, it's an easier audience. What's the toughest audience you've ever had?
Probably the toughest audience I've ever had was probably like, I think when I first started comedy, there was a room called The Wild, I think in Fitzroy or Collingwood or something. And you had to go there, you had to sign up at like 6:30, which I did. I signed up at 6:30, and then I didn't get on until 11:15 at night. So I just sat there watching like 500 acts, and it was a really hot night, and it was in this like hot box of a thing. Like everyone was just sweating upstairs, and by the time I got on, it was like 2 audience members left and 3 comedians, and that was the toughest audience. I didn't get one laugh. I got heckled by some asshole in the front who said something, and people laughed at that, but I didn't get one laugh for 5 minutes, and that was the toughest gig I ever had.
How long were you doing stand-up when you went there?
About a month.
About a month. So you would have built your character pretty fast. Like you would have a pretty thick skin, like to.
Yeah, you have to. Because
You have
after
to.
I left, like, because I did that gig, like, the week before I was on at the Comics Lounge, and that went relatively well for a new comic and being at the Comics Lounge. And then doing that spot, I was like, I left and I'm like, I'm ready to kill myself. Like, where is the nearest bridge? Like, that was, I'm like, why am I doing comedy? Like, if this is, like, because that was the worst bomb ever. It was awful. I'm just like, I'm not doing this shit again. I'm not doing it.
But you kind of like keep going, like you know, yeah. It's like yeah, you feel that hurt, but then you just want to keep getting better and keep practicing and yeah, because when you get the laugh, like yeah, it feels good when you.
Well, that's the thing. It's like you sort of go between like you want to fix it. You don't want that to be your last gig. Like, you need to fix it, so you have to keep going.
With that shit, so yeah.
Yeah, you're just like, I've done well. Like, why is it here now? Why is this what's happening to me? And then I had to reassess, and I'm like, there was like one audience member, like there was barely anyone there, you know, like, and comedians aren't going to laugh at your stuff. Yeah. You know, so.
Have you had any like punch-ons with comedians or any crazy shit happen? Or
I wouldn't say punch-ons, but I've had some issues. Okay. Yeah. But no need to discuss those because I'll just fuel the fire again. That doesn't need to be fueled. It was big enough as it was.
We're not going to discuss that.
Yeah.
But I thought I'd kind of throw in a bit of a crazy question. And how's your Tinder life going at the moment?
My Tinder life. Because of my set?
Yeah.
Because of my set. What did I say in my set that night that resonated about Tinder? Because I don't remember exactly what happened at Gorilla.
Oh, you like said something about sapiosexual
or
something?
Yeah, because I didn't know what that meant.
Good.
I didn't know what that meant. And that's based on like Tinder probably, like, I don't think, because I used Tinder like over lockdown, you know, like the safest, healthiest time to use it. Yeah. So I was I was like scrolling through it, and I kept on seeing like dudes with their bios saying sapiosexual, and I didn't know what it meant, so I had to Google it, and then I was just like, why, like, getting off on intelligence, like, that doesn't even like, what is this, like,
what the hell, what the fuck is this?
Is it supposed to make you seem more interesting? Because it just didn't resonate with me, and that's why, yeah, like in my set I make a joke about that. But yeah, Tinder life, it's an interesting platform, is it not?
True, yeah, it is.
Do you use Tinder?
I do use Tinder.
And how does it work for you?
I get a lot of matches with girls that just want you to follow them on Instagram. So like you'll match with someone and it's like, oh yeah, follow my Instagram. So I'm like, this is a waste of time. Like for me, I prefer to meet people in real life, and I think that's the best way to meet people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I like going out at comedy nights, because you just meet so many different people and you learn so many different things. That's how I met yourself. And yeah, it just seems like people that tell comedy are just more friendly, like in general.
Yeah,
so.
Well, I suppose it's really weird that like the dynamic with comedians is like a lot of them are like really shy, you know, like they're really shy. They don't really want to have that much of a conversation, whereas like the others like really outgoing and extroverted and stuff. Obviously, if you're going to get up on a stage and talk to a bunch of strangers trying to make them laugh, then, you know, you'd have to have some balls, don't you?
Yeah, exactly.
Like you'd assume. But a lot of people are like really really quiet off the stage and not as sociable. But yeah, I mean, I think like, you know, when it does come to that, like meeting people in real life is very important. Like I would prefer to meet someone in real life. Yeah. I don't really want to do Tinder. I do have an active Tinder profile right now, but it's not mine. It's my neighbor downstairs. Oh. He's in his late 50s and he's just like, I just want to meet someone. So I set up his profile, and I got to say, women are a nightmare to talk to.
So like, you're talking to the women on his behalf?
Yeah. All I have to do is reel them in, and as soon as I can exchange numbers, I send him the screenshots of what we've talked about, so that when he does call them, he knows what to talk about with them.
Shit.
So
what's your we got a question from Jan Lazinski. How do you deal with hecklers or rude audiences?
I don't know if I deal with it well. I'm known to rant, so I didn't realize this was live. Is there anything up my nose? Can anyone? Yeah, no, I just.
No, you good.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I deal with it well. I'm known to rant and I'm known to get angry.
You ran on stage?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't always deal with it the right way, but I do call out an audience if it's bothering me. But I mean, two people to speak to, two comics, Chris Asher or Geordie Mitchell, have both seen it happen regularly, so have a chat with them. But I don't really yeah, I don't know. I mean, you manage it. Some comics have like comebacks ready to go, and they pull them out, depending on who's saying what and whatever's coming out. But I usually just deal with it on the spot. If someone doesn't stop talking or is yelling stuff out to me, you got to sort of put them in their place and shut them up. And it's annoying because if you do get into it with a heckler who's like around the front, then like you're getting into it with them, but then the audience at the back of the room, they can't hear what this person's saying. So essentially everyone's just watching you have this one-on-one dialogue with this other person and they can't hear what this person's saying. So it's boring for everyone. You need to nip it in the bud as soon as it happens.
Nip it in the bud. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, but you need to shut them down because they're ruining everyone's night. Unless you're up there doing a really shit job and they're the ones that are making the show, then like that you probably shouldn't be doing comedy, or you need to fix that part. So
yeah. I thought we just kind of change gears a little bit. I've got a few songs from TV shows, so I'm gonna play one episode, the soundtrack, and you have to see what show it is.
Okay, am I supposed to guess it or?
Yeah, have a guess. Even the audience can join in. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it does. I don't.
Stranger Things.
Oh my God. I was going to say, I'm getting like 80s feels right now. Yeah, okay. I love that show. That's a sick show. X-Files?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is a remix of a really old TV show. It used to be on for kids.
Oh, Roger Ramjet. How old are you when you say kids show? Just in case.
I'm 30.
Okay.
Well, I don't know, maybe, I don't even know what year it is. It's like 93, 94. It's Barney.
Oh man, I hate that show. Okay. Yeah,
I'll play one last one.
Yeah. Oh, this is going to kill me. I should have come prepared. I am not mentally stimulated at all. Can you play that one again real quick? I know this. I'm going to kick myself when you tell me.
Yeah, Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Oh, man.
You know the bald guy, Larry David?
Yeah.
What's your favourite shows at the moment?
At the moment, I haven't really been into anything new recently.
Yeah.
I've just redone The Sopranos for like the 4th time ever. So that's not really a new show. Seinfeld's always a favourite.
Yeah.
I reckon that's incredible. You mentioned Larry David's. I had to mention that.
Can you do a like an Italian soprano accent?
No.
Hey, wise guy. Like Joe Pesci, hey man, hey cocksucker, I'm gonna something like this. Like, yeah, I'm not can you do any impersonations?
I can. But I've had nothing to drink and I'm not on stage. It's a bit difficult. Like that would be, and especially now, like it could go really badly. And then I'm going to be thinking about it for days being like, you should have just said no to the impression bit.
No to the impression.
Yeah. No, I do impressions in my set, but that's different because that's in my set.
It's in your set. That's all right.
Yeah.
Cool. So what's the future hold for yourself? What do you like? Do you have any goals for like stand up, or are you doing it for fun, or?
I I didn't. I guess when I started it, my goals were just get on at the Comics Lounge, and that happened. So I'm like, okay, that's done. And then I'm like, all right, what's the next thing? It's like I want to do a festival show. I did a festival show. I did a joint one. It was successful. It was really, really good. And then I don't really have many. Because I don't know where it's going to go. I don't know where it's going to go, and I'm not sitting here sort of putting pressure on myself to get something done. All I know is that I am working, and I'm hustling. Like it does feel like a second job, because I'll do like at least like 4 to 5 a week, whenever I can.
Wow.
So
yeah, because I don't know if you want to go into it, but this is not this is obviously not your day job. So is that something you would be comfortable going down, talking about your day job, or is it a bit?
Yeah, I mean, I won't mention huge details about it, but like I'm more than happy to say like I'm a social worker.
Yeah.
During the day, I've been doing that for like 12 years.
12 years. And what? I guess like what's been the biggest learning? Like what have you learned the most as a social worker? What's been the biggest lesson?
Probably the biggest lesson has been patience and what it really means to have empathy. Because a lot of people say, oh, like I've got so much empathy, like I feel other people's pain. It's like, no, you don't. You don't know anything. Like, and these people that don't have unconditional, I suppose, feelings towards others, and you know they're very quick to give up on people. I think I've definitely learned empathy like at its core in this job, and I think that if you don't go into it with already having natural tendencies to be empathic, then
what do you mean empathic? You mean like psychic? Like you can
no.
do you believe in psychics?
I've never seen one, but my friends have, and they've said that it's really good. So
it's really good.
But like I don't know. Do you?
Yeah, I don't know. I reckon it's hard to say. Yeah, I reckon there's a few con artists like
a few. There'd be plenty.
Yeah, there'd be.
Let me try it on you right now. Okay,
right.
so you're in IT. Something to do with computers. No. So
shit, you're good.
no, like I mean, I don't know. Some people have said like they pick out like you know real stuff and like no one would ever know it and everything. I'm like, okay, cool. But then you know these other things like you've had a hard time recently. You've been through something. You know, like I can sort of see that. You know, but you're overcoming it and you're working towards bettering yourself. You know, financially and physically, and you're working on your mental health and you're reaching out whenever you can. Would I be correct?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, so really,
it's not that hard.
You know, but if they're going to pick out something like specific, like that would be cool. But I would hate, like the only thing putting me off seeing a psychic is that I'm going to go see one, and if he or she or they, sorry, we've got pronouns, like either one, either few, I don't know. I just don't want to step wrong. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings because I don't know. But if they were going to like get some things really spot on, and then they said to me, do you want to know about your romantic future? And I'm like, yeah, tell me. And then they say, you're going to be alone forever. I'm like, shit, they were right about everything else. Like now I know I'm going to be alone. Like it's paranoia. It's paranoia. Like what if they tell me that? What if everything is right and then they tell me that? Like
Yeah, paranoia is pretty scary because it's like the mind keeps eating itself, and you almost like you keep asking yourself questions and you don't trust yourself, and then
I just don't want to be alone forever, Christian. Like I don't want to hear someone be like, yeah, like it's just you and the cat, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
So like that.
Yeah, I mean, being alone. Yeah, you definitely don't want to be alone for the rest of your life.
Like now is fine, but you want to think like I will meet someone or a few people. Like it's certainly not gonna. Really, I'm gonna be alone. Like I'll start freezing my eggs now. Do you know what I mean?
It's pretty deep. I was gonna ask you a question, but I don't know if it's the right. Like your date of birth, but it's probably I might leave that for another podcast.
Why are you asking me my date of birth?
Oh, so I can like understand where you are and have a better understanding.
Are you a psychic or?
Yeah, I'm a psychic. Yeah.
Am I going to be alone?
No.
Wait, so
well, you're not alone now, so you're in good company now.
You know what I mean? Like, am I going to be alone forever?
For the future. What if there's like an eagle there somewhere? And
an eagle?
There's an eagle. Yeah.
What's the eagle gonna do?
Take care of you. So, the eagle will come to protect you. But I'm just talking out my ass at the moment. So
no, really, I believed everything. Why do you need my date of birth? Does it actually make a difference?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like you can just. If someone's older than you or someone's younger than you, you kind of... I think you treat people differently if they're older than you or younger than you.
Mm-hmm.
Did you agree? Like, I don't know. Is that something...
It depends.
If you saw like a 50-year-old person and then you see a 20-year-old person, like you just tell the 20-year-old person to piss off, and then like you have to respect... Well, obviously you wouldn't say and tell them to piss off, but like...
You can learn from anyone on all walks of life, all ages.
That's true.
I learn the most from kids that I work with, not with adults.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
You're just going to agree with everything I say?
Um,
Do you have any psychic abilities
do I have any psychic abilities?
other than this like crazy destiny about the eagle
About the eagle.
that has really resonated with me?
There was this Indian chief. They call him Ugumunto, and yeah, he's there with the eagle as well. So, yeah, I mean, he's having a good time there.
You're drawing a blank really hard.
I'm drawing a blank really hard. I'm gonna. I've gone for it. Actually, let's talk about the green tea. So this is a green tea from Temple Tea, green tea and jasmine. If I was to rate this green tea, I'd probably give it about a 7. I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Actually, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Because I put the gin in and it was given to me with love. So I respect that. And yeah, I don't know why I started talking about the green tea, but yeah,
He's struggling. He's
struggling.
He's struggling. He's struggling. I think I'm going to have to run this myself. So, first of all, let's go back to what empathy means. And like, I'm really feeling for him. So empathy is like being able to put yourself in someone else's shoes. And right now I'm in Christian's and I can see he's really struggling. So because he's really struggling, I'm just gonna run this for a bit. So you said you're on Tinder. Yeah?
I am, yeah.
Okay. So have you been able to connect with a girl that's not just there for the OnlyFans or her Instagram?
I have, yes.
And how has that gone? How was the last good experience of that?
So I was in a relationship last year, and
she was off Tinder?
And she was off Tinder, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And how long was that relationship?
Not long, it's maybe 3 months.
Mm-hmm. Fair effort.
So fair effort. So yeah, and yeah, I don't know. We just kind of ended it, and now I'm back on the market now. So just. I don't know. Is that what you say? I don't know.
So how? No. So what I'm trying to get to is like, so when you met off Tinder,
yeah,
right? How long were you talking for before you met?
Maybe. How long were we talking for? Then we met. Maybe 3 or 4 days or something.
Mm-hmm. And what did you do for your first meetup?
I think we had dinner together.
Where did you go?
We went to, shout out to Lygon Street, Tibba's restaurant. It was a Lebanese restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I had the falafel. It was a good dinner. It was a nice dinner. Yeah,
that's very ballsy to do Tinder date dinners. I don't do dinners on the first date. I refuse. I refuse because I'm like, no, because if you have dinner, like if you get there and from that first moment you don't like them, you're stuck there. That's going to ruin your meal. Like I'm always like, we'll just get a coffee. I don't actually drink coffee, but like I'm like, let's just get a coffee. And if the conversation's going well, then we'll get something to eat. Otherwise, like I'm done. Like I rocked up to a Tinder date once and within 5 minutes I was like, look, I'm just going to pay for our coffees and did you need a lift to the station because this is not going to go anywhere.
Shit, straight up.
So imagine having like that but being stuck at a dinner. So we got balls. Better than McDonald's.
Better than McDonald's.
Yeah. Is that the tea that's better than McDonald's or is that the Lygon Street falafel that's better than McDonald's? Sorry, I'm just reacting to your one person that's paying attention to us right now.
Jan. Yeah, he's there. Twilight Zone, better than McDonald's. All right, Jan's in the building. So for those of you that don't know Jan, I used to work with him, and that's why, yeah, he's my number one fan. Jan Lazinski. Shout out to Jan. And what were we talking about? We were talking about Tinder dates going wrong.
Well, we didn't say going wrong. We're just saying what's going right. Let's be positive.
All right, going right.
Because they usually go wrong. Okay.
So, all right. So that was my last. So now that I've told my last experience off Tinder, so now when did you have the last thing on Tinder? Last fling?
Last year, I think. Yeah, it would have been last year. Yeah. And it was all right, but I'm probably too. Okay.
Oh, Rodrigo. UA.
UA, what does that mean? Is there a meaning to that?
Rodrigo's the yeah, man, I used to work with him as well. So yeah, we've got the whole workforce on the chat at the moment. So. And
you worked with these people in IT?
Yeah, I can't reveal. Yeah, we're all psychic at the moment.
Yeah, good work. It's good to see people tuning in on a Wednesday night. Having a good time.
Yeah, I know. Better than
Looks like you're in dark rooms, serial killers, haha jokes. Don't pretend you're joking. I could potentially still be killed. This guy is still a stranger to me. So I don't know. Like literally today, what did I message you today? Because I was like, are we doing this like remotely, or like what are we doing? He's like, oh no, face to face is better. And I was like, I have a can of mace in my bag and I have a wicked right hook. So, but I'll be there. What time? It's very like I met him a week ago. So I'm just living life on the edge right now. So
yeah,
anyway.
I reckon it's good to live life on the edge. Like, what's the craziest thing you've ever done?
Comedy.
You
nuts? Like craziest thing. I've jumped off fucking rocks into an ocean. Whatever. Like it doesn't matter what you do. Comedy is still the okay, Bonnie and Clyde. Sorry, I've never done this live streaming thing. I watch people do it and I'm like, oh, they're responding. And I'm just like, I'm going to make the face that people do when they respond to something online. Bonnie and Clyde. Does that mean like we're Bonnie and Clyde, or?
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's.
It's not Bonnie and Clyde work together. I'm saying this guy could still potentially murder me. This is not a Bonnie and Clyde moment. This is like Ted Bundy with his like beetle, and I am just at a music festival thinking I'm safe. That's what's happening here. Comedy is the craziest thing I've done, I think.
Comedy's the craziest
thing?
Yeah,
because you don't know. It's unpredictable. You can never get excited about a gig.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I disagree with you as well. Jumping out of a plane. You said you jumped out of a rock. You jumped off a rock.
Off a rock, yeah.
How did you, where was that? What was the experience like?
I've done it a few times, but the last place it was in like Hawaii.
Oh, in Hawaii.
Yeah, it was like off this like cliff top into the ocean. It was an amazing experience, but that adrenaline lasted like, a couple minutes.
Yeah.
But like with comedy, you do it like every night. Like you feel like a rush.
Yeah.
Even if it's going bad.
Yeah, I jumped on that, what's it called? Dirty Secrets. I jumped on that place and I told a few jokes and yeah, I just got a laugh. There was two people there and like one of them laughed, and even though it was just one person, you still have that rush of energy, and you still then I started to get overconfident, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this is easy, this shit, because you like make one person laugh and then maybe you go to the next set and then nobody laughs. So then it's like, okay, maybe that was lucky.
Yeah, you get, because that's the thing, and that's what's hard. It's like when you get cocky, you get humbled real quick. Yeah. Real quick. Like it doesn't matter if that one person giggled or chuckled. Yeah. And that audience could potentially turn on you at any moment. You can say one wrong thing, or they don't like the look of your face, or whatever it is, or someone in the audience could say something and then you'll fire back and then suddenly you're the bad guy.
Yeah.
It's always, I don't know, it's a very, very interesting. It plays with your psyche.
Do you have any tactics that you use with the audience? Like, do you try and be friends with them, or I think you mentioned before how you put people in their spot. You like to put people in their spot.
Only if they're playing up.
Sorry?
Only if they're acting up or heckling or something.
Can you sense when there's like a female, more female-based audience or more male-based audience? Do you know?
Well, I wouldn't call it sensing. I mean, I can see them.
You can see them.
So
I don't know, because
but sometimes these days you don't know. They might identify as something else. So you got to be careful. Like I wouldn't be like, oh, hi ladies, because they might not identify as a female, and then you don't want to be like offensive. But at the same time, I mean, you'd hope that you can be forgiven for being offensive, right? If someone looks like a female, like you would, but you got to be careful because it keeps happening. They're like, oh,
what do you do? Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. You can see them, right? So I don't need to sense much. But yeah,
no, fair enough. Yeah,
not that it would make
point.
a difference.
Yeah. Okay. What do you think about walking off the stage? Because I've seen a few comics, like they'll kind of get off the stage and I don't know, do something and then come back on, or.
What do you mean? What do you mean? They walk off in the middle of their set and come back?
Yeah.
When have you seen that? What happened? Why did they do that?
Last week at the Cellars, this dude, bald guy, I can't remember his name, and he just walked off the stage, and then he did a U-turn and he came back on stage. So
he was doing material before
he was doing
got
material. Yeah.
And why did he just decided to walk off and come back?
Well, I don't know. He was kind of like a bit cheeky or something. Like, I don't know. He was kind of, I don't know. Maybe it's part of his act or something. And then he pulled his camera out and he's like filming the whole audience as well.
I'm so curious as to who this was.
I can't remember his name.
Okay.
Sorry, I can't remember his name.
Is
I
that
saw
the
a
only?
magician. I've seen a magician before. I think. Yeah, I feel bad. I can't remember anyone's name. Yeah, I saw a magician. Have you seen the magician?
I don't know. I don't know who that is.
He's got rings. So
Okay.
you throw the rings and he kind of like brings it together like magic.
This was at the St Kilda Cellars.
Yeah.
So they have magicians on now.
They
So
got
it's not
magicians.
a comedy act.
Well, I don't know what it is.
Just a
It's
guy with rings.
Just a guy with rings.
Where's my guy with a ring? What's happening? Tell me my future. But okay,
He's on the eagle. He's on the eagle. He's coming down.
The eagle and the Indian chief?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yep.
so wait, you've only seen one person walk off.
Yes.
So it's not common enough like to have a discussion about. Like I don't know what that would have been about, right?
He's probably tripping on mushrooms or something. I don't know.
So let me ask you, like, how long have you wanted to start comedy, and why did you, like, I'm hosting this now. So
Yeah, you host it. It's,
When
it's the Mimi show now.
when
It's not the
did
Christian Buddy
when did you decide you wanted to do comedy?
show. I did it with my dad. I did a comedy course. Shout out to Robert Chicken. Did a comedy course with those guys, and did it with my dad. And yeah, that's it. That's kind of, I don't know. I always want to be like Joe Rogan. You know, he's my idol. You know?
Jamie, pull up the
Jamie.
pull up the clip of Christian at School of Hard Knock Knocks for a second. I want to see how well he did. All right,
Wait,
Jamie,
we
now
might be
pull
able
up
to pull it up. We might
pull
be
up
able
the
to
one
pull
at
it up.
Dirty Secrets and let's see how bad that one went. Let's compare the two of them together.
Actually, no, we got Actually, I got your Instagram up. I was having a look. I was having a stalk at your Instagram.
Oh, God.
Maybe we can go through your Instagram. I reckon this is a cool picture. That's a good picture. That's actually the picture that's the thumbnail of our episode together.
Oh, is
So
it?
yeah. So I reckon that's a good picture.
Oh,
That's
God.
a cool green neon.
That's a great room. Shout out to Dan Rosario's room, Duck Fat, at 161 in Paran. That was a sick room. That's one of the best gigs I've ever done.
Which one is it?
It's called Duck Fat Comedy.
Duck Fat
Incredible.
Comedy. Shout out to Duck Fat Comedy.
Really good gig.
All right. Maybe can I bring that there? I was going to show you.
Do you practice your jokes prior to going on stage or does it go naturally? Combination of the both. I have stuff ready to go, but sometimes I can muck around with the audience a little bit if there isn't enough people or if it depends what goes through my head on the night in answer to that.
Thank you, Jan, for the jokes. We are really loving it, Daniel.
That wasn't a joke. Yeah, I know that you asked a question. That's okay. Christian's had a long day.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so Jamie doesn't need to pull up anything.
Jamie doesn't need to pull up anything at the moment.
So how's your dad going with comedy then?
Yeah, pretty good.
Is he performing? Is he doing gigs?
No, he's only done one gig. He did a sales pitch this morning, and
A sales pitch?
Yeah, well, he's in this business community, and they all have like their own pitches, like 5 or 10 minute pitches. So he did his 5-minute pitch today. So yeah, everybody. For those listening, I had Derek Stewart. I'm just going to do a shout out. My last episode, he's from B&I Business Group. So shout out to Derek Stewart. You are a legend.
Thanks, Derek Stewart. Thank you for.
He's setting the business world on fire, and yeah. So back to the discussion. We were talking about my dad. We were talking about my dad and
A sales pitch. Community.
Pitch. That's right. And yeah, my mum was going to come down on that night, but she had some fridge magnets to clean, so she didn't come down. So yeah, but she's a great.
Was that a joke or?
That was a joke. Yeah.
Oh, the laughter! Quick.
Oh yeah, the laughter. Oh yeah. That was a canned joke there. And yeah, that's it in a nutshell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I haven't got the answer yet. What made you want to do comedy? Other
I
than
don't know,
Joe
it's
Rogan's
just,
podcast.
It's good. All right. The honest answer, to be honest, it's yeah. You want to make people laugh. You want to entertain people. I want to entertain people.
Mm-hmm.
That's yeah.
That's actually what it is.
Yeah, I want to entertain people.
Yeah, like you like making people laugh.
Make people just entertain in general. So even if it's not laugh, maybe I can do some beatbox or maybe try some rapping.
Do you do both of those things already?
So I'm playing tennis with Dennis the Menace. Give it a back now before I give you a taste of the devil's lettuce. So just kind of mucking around and yeah, no, it's pretty.
He's really good.
It's pretty. It's pretty.
No, but do you actually do you rap? Like, do you?
I brought sand to my beach because my beach is better. I'm gonna keep the beach because that beach, whatever.
You don't rap.
No, I don't rap. I just kind of sing songs on the radio, but I try and beatbox at the same time. Yeah, so that was
good. That was good.
Okay, finally we got.
So you beatbox.
I got the perfect sound effect for that. So it's like or if it's. But I mean, yes. So I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like I want to entertain and. Like people say, oh, you just have to go up there, tell joke. But yeah, I want to entertain and bring a new flavour to it. So, yeah.
So when's your next gig?
When's my next gig? This Sunday.
Where
4
is
p.m.
it?
Dirty Lies.
Dirty Secrets.
Dirty Secrets. I always get it mixed up.
Dirty
Lies.
Yep.
Dirty, yeah. Like once you keep going to these places, you got to remember so much shit, like the name of this person, the name of like it gets crazy.
Well, it's good that you got on last time you just rocked up because you weren't booked, obviously. You just rocked up and you were able to get on, right?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Dirty Secrets is a really good play. Like, big shout out to Dirty Secrets. I love Dirty Secrets. Like, because you don't know if you're going to get an audience or not. And when you don't have much, like, that's your time to really put yourself to the test.
Yeah.
So, because if it's all comics, they've all seen your stuff.
Yeah.
And it's really, it can be difficult, but Dirty is just a great place to muck around and workshop stuff.
And how do you write jokes? Like, do you like write things or?
I don't write. I've tried so many times. No, like,
so,
and I listen to like all these greats, like being like Jerry Seinfeld, and he's like, he's always like writing, and he does like a new hour every year. Like I can't write. I'll think of it, and then I'll write down like a dot point and be like, I'll try this. Because I can't get it out the way that I want to until I get up there and say it. Because I don't know how it's going to go. Even if I wrote it down, it's going to come out different when there's people there.
Yeah.
And I don't like the part that I think they might laugh at. They end up laughing at something else, and then,
So you're more on the fly, would you say? Like you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm prepared with the material I'm going to do. But if it's a new bit, I can't sit down and write. Like, I've tried so many times, and it's rubbish. Everything I write is rubbish, so it has to just come out. Yeah. So what did you think of the course that you did?
Yeah, I think it was good.
Yeah.
It was like they kind of throw you in the deep end straight away, and you learn all the joke structure and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's good. The fifth night is we jump on stage.
Yep.
And that's when you test yourself. But I remember the first time I jumped on stage, I forgot my words, and I was just like up there, and it's like I forgot what I have to say, and then I just walked off. So I think you have to be so calm, you have to be so chill up there that you don't feel that anxiousness. You're just so calm. Do you have you ever been in that state, like a flow state?
I think the nerves are good. I'd be worried if I wasn't nervous. Like that would probably bother me if I wasn't, because I need that a little bit of anxiety.
To kind of keep you
need to have that anxiety. Like that has to be there. Yeah. I've never been like, oh, I'm frozen on stage or anything like that. But there have been times when if a gig's going really bad, you forget and you get all jumbled and stuff. But everyone's different. You do have to have a sense of calmness about it, but you do want to have like a little bit of nerves or anxiety before you get on. It would really worry me if I didn't.
You didn't,
Yeah. You'd be burnt out.
Why if you didn't have any nerves, why?
Because it means I didn't care enough. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like part of me doesn't care in the sense of like I don't care if this goes too badly, but I have a sense of responsibility, I guess, to deliver to an audience that's wanting something funny, provided they're an audience that wants that. Because you can turn up to gigs where people are just eating, they don't know that there's a show going on, and you're just like, why am I here? And those ones are awkward. You're talking to the back of someone's head while they're having a Palmer with their mate, and they're like, bitch, shut up, I'm trying to eat. And I'm like, well, I have a microphone. So, like, you know, it's weird. Like, you can do gigs like that, and it's very daunting. You'll have them one day, son. Don't worry. You'll get there. If you stick with comedy and you keep doing it, you'll have one of them.
What's the furthest gig you've ever driven out to?
Driven?
Or, I don't know, the furthest distance that you had to.
I did one in Hawaii.
You did one in Hawaii?
Yeah, that was fun. I did that. Not because they had heard about me or anything. They weren't like, oh, man, bring her down. It wasn't anything like that. It was another comic, Matt O'Neill. He had been to Hawaii and he'd teed up these gigs. And then when he came back, I was like, how'd you get these gigs? Because I'm about to go to Hawaii. So he linked me with the guy who ran it.
Oh, okay.
And then that guy booked me. And
cool.
It went well. It was good. It wasn't as awful as what I thought it would be. Because I was freaking out because I'm like, I need to change my whole set to fit like American metrics and stuff. You know, like I had to drop all of my local humour. I had to do all of that.
Yeah, that's a massive thing, isn't
But
it?
yeah, that was probably the furthest one because it's overseas. Otherwise, Darwin, Alice Springs, country towns.
What's that like, country towns?
They scare the shit out of me.
Why?
Because sometimes they're racist.
Oh,
so they're not going to be very welcoming. Like I clearly don't look white.
See, I'm lucky because, I look like my dad's Australian, my mum's Italian, so I kind of have a blend. Like I can fit into more Aussie or maybe more Italian.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So
you could fit that. Yeah.
I could fit that.
Yeah.
So for me, maybe I'm just putting it out there that, I kind of, but it's kind of weird. You shouldn't judge a person based on their, such a primitive thing to do, like judge people based on their appearance. Like, you know, you kind of, for me, I think you should judge people based on their energy, based on, you know, if they respect you, you respect them back. Just simple things.
Most people would do that.
Yeah, most people.
But racism is rampant.
Yeah,
so it still happens. But if like the country gigs are so much fun, and like if they like, cause you know, it's like they're such lovely people. You know, when it's going well. When it's going well, it can go bad. It can go bad, and that's okay.
Any examples?
Yeah, I did Bendigo once. Yeah, and then I was on with like 4 other comics, white males, and they were all doing fine. And then I got up and I opened my set with I'm Middle Eastern, and these 5 like, I don't know, just 5 men at the back of the room. Like one of them just like slammed his hand down on the table and he's like, oh, fuck this. And then he walked out, and then the rest of them walked out with him. Yeah. So they were like a bunch of like Pauline Hanson supporters and I was like, shit, I didn't build the mosque. Okay. Like calm down. Like, it wasn't me.
Yeah. Actually, it's funny you mentioned that because my recent job, it's working for Aboriginals and Torres Strait Islanders, and it was interesting coming into this company because I didn't know I knew a little bit about, you know, what the white man did to Aboriginals, but being in this company, they teach you a lot, and they show you all the massacres that occurred, and I'm like, shit, it's pretty full on the history, you know, Aboriginal culture. It's shout out to, I don't want to say the wrong word because I know you have to acknowledge them in the right way, but let's not go down that pathway.
I think that the whole history of Aboriginal Australians has to be, it should be taught, and there should be way more awareness about it because people don't know how severe it was. Like you just said, you know. I
didn't know anything about it.
You know, and we're here on this land, like we acknowledge this land every day. Do you know what I mean? And it's like that those stories need to be known, like that information needs to be out because it was incredibly intense, and like obviously like the ramifications of all of it is still being felt today. Like it's not over. You know what I mean? It's domino effect. It's a very dark way to go down. But what's that question? Is it ideal to have a drink or 2 before getting up on stage, or just have a coffee tea? I personally don't drink at all before a gig.
This is actually tea and gin. So that's the new combination. That's the new Christian Buddy special.
Mine is not. Mine's just an English breakfast. But I will not. Before I gig, I won't even sip it. There's no way I don't come close to it. No drinks. no smoking weed, no doing anything. I get up completely sober because I need to be in control on stage. But other people, like, they have a beer or two, they can relax before they get on. They drink a beer on stage. I don't personally.
All the times I've been on, I've been a little bit drunk and high. All the times I've been on. So that, I don't know, maybe it's screwing up with my set, but I feel like I'm in a better mindset when I'm high. I don't know.
Well, you just started. You should try both and see what works better for you.
Yeah, the first time I performed, I was sober. Well, I had one drink. And then the second time, I probably had a few joints and then a drink it was as well.
Mm-hmm.
Look, it's probably good to try sober for sure.
Yeah, whatever works for you. I don't, but I just can't do it. I wouldn't touch it. But I don't really drink anyway. But if I was like, I wouldn't mind having a beer, I wouldn't do it until I got off.
Yeah, fair enough.
So, but yeah.
Interesting stuff. All right. And, okay, so you said you're Middle Eastern. So which part of the Middle East?
I'm Syrian.
Syrian, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, I don't know anything about Syria.
And I'm just like watching you. I'm like, what's next now?
Yeah,
what are you going to say?
Next? That's it.
No,
yeah.
I'm an immigrant. We came here when I was little. I'm Australian, basically. Yeah.
But kind of back to that race, we'll kind of just jump into the dark area a little bit more. Back to that racist quote, it's like, that guy, how he slammed his hand down.
Mm-hmm.
At one stage, his parents would have been immigrants. So it's a little bit ironic that he's kind of getting angry when, like, we're all basically immigrants, like, so there's really no argument for racism. It's just, maybe it's ego. I don't know. Maybe it's stupidity.
It's going to exist everywhere. It's because it's ignorance, like in its almost purest form.
Yeah.
So no one's going to be like, oh, well, convicts and immigrants. They're going to be like, white people are on this land or whatever, There's no point reasoning. If that's the way they are, that's the way they are. So all you can do is be like, all right, moving along. Like I didn't address it. I didn't bother going through it. I'm like, what am I going to do? Like lecture everyone in Bendigo on the fact that I'm not going to blow up your town. Like I'm here to make you laugh, So, but it exists. It just is what it is. Like you can't really do much about it.
Really do much.
No. So, but yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Well, we're hitting up to the 48-minute mark. Do you think we've said it? We've said everything that we wanted to say.
Are you missing anything? Do
Am
you
I
feel
missing
like
anything?
I tried to help out.
Domino's. I don't know why Domino's is going through my head. I think because you mentioned Domino's before.
Like as in the pizza?
Yeah, no, as in the thing.
When I said domino effect, did I say domino effect? Oh, yeah. Okay.
I don't know why that's coming up in my head,
but it's funny to like watch someone interact when like they're baked, but you're not. Like, because I'm like, I know what's happening in his head, like things aren't connecting. Like he's jumping from a topic to the next. Like I'm trying to ground you, do you know?
Yeah, I'm lucky you did ground me and tonight, and yeah, it's been a grounding experience. But back to the psychic topic, because that's an interesting topic. That's an interesting area.
Yeah, okay.
What's you said you believed in psychics?
I said I don't know. I haven't seen one, but I've got friends that have seen them and that have benefited and said that they were able to read. Stuff.
And what about the con artists? Because there's a lot of what about the spiritual people on Facebook that kind of say, you've got to drink green juice, 20 days a week and only eat a piece of lettuce or something.
Are they spiritual people? Is that what?
Sort of thing.
That sounds to me like just someone who's trying to lose weight. What do you?
No, those people that kind of preach and all that sort of shit.
Why are you calling them spiritual though? Just because
I don't know, because
I'm going to have hummus with carrot sticks and suddenly I'm a guru for like what? No. They're not spiritual. They're just, what are they? Gurus in what?
They're just crackheads.
They sound like just vegans or.
Vegans, yeah.
Shout out to all the vegans.
Oh yeah, are you vegan or are you carnivore?
I'm not. I'm nothing. I just eat everything. Clearly, like I don't know how much my chin's showing. Like over COVID, like this has just sort of come out. But I eat everything. So no.
What's your favorite food?
Don't ask me that. I will eat everything. Trust me. Like whatever I feel like, I'm gonna eat it. But I've been doing really well. So I'm down 6 kilos from my lockdown weight. So it's really, really good. Shout out to all the spiritual people that are like, just have a piece of lettuce a day and gack a green juice or something. But no, it's, yeah, what are my thoughts on them? They can do whatever they want, but I'm not going to follow that. I'm not going to eat some lettuce during the day. Like, I'm going to eat real food, proper food, something
Sure.
filling. I don't want to feel hungry
For sure.
because then I just get angry. So,
Would you ever consider fasting, intermittent fasting? But
yeah,
I
I've
know
done
Middle
it.
Eastern, don't they fast for
Ramadan.
Ramadan?
I'm Christian, so
Okay.
I don't do it. But
Okay.
I fast for Lent, but it's not like fasting. Like I do vegan for like 2 months leading up to Easter, which is just another boring topic to get into. There's a thing, you two should do a gig together on stage. I will do a gig. I will do a gig with Christian when I see him perform and see if he actually does well.
Shout out to Jan. You're a legend, man.
Mm.
All right. Well, I'm kind of running out of material to say. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's been a pleasure having you on the show, Mimi. And
Thank you for having me.
How can people reach out to you? How can people, if they want to get in touch with you, subscribe to you?
Oh, just my Instagram. I think I haven't really uploaded clips of myself, but there's a couple on my Instagram that I've started putting up lately. So that's Mimi Shams at Instagram.
There you go, guys.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to play a little bit of a song here. Do you reckon you can rap? Can you rap?
No, absolutely not.
Can we do a final rap just to kind of wrap up the show? I don't know.
Here's Christian, everybody.
It's been a pleasure.
That's it. That's your
Been a
rap.
pleasure. I'm trying to find my treasure. Nah, this is gonna end up
He's
very
so
terrible.
good.
This is gonna sound.
This
All
is
right,
the next
guys.
Eminem, guys. Hilltop Hoods in Brunswick East. This guy is an incredible rapper. Follow him on Instagram for all his newest raps and rhymes. And
The SoundCloud engineer. But nah, thank you guys. Thank you once again.